Hey everybody, my name is Josiah. I am the owner of Vizion Customs here in Wichita Falls, Texas. So a lot of you are wondering why, when, what, how. Tell us everything. Okay.
Man, what you gonna do now?
Now I'ma break it down just to tell a little story straight out the box from the gangster category.
Okay, so I guess we kind of need to go back to the beginning just so you can understand the nature of business in particular and how we got to where we are right now. But the whole story kind of will hopefully let people who don't understand why we've made the move that we've made, why we've gotten so behind on some of the major projects, but lots of smaller projects are continuously being done and completed and pushed out. So here it goes. When I retired from the music and entertainment industry back in 2012, I took a break and then I started doing what became Vizion out of my 1,000 square foot shop at my house. Now, I've built custom cars and done all of this my entire life, but it was always a side thing. After retiring from music and entertainment, like I said, I took a break and then I was bored. And I sat in my shop at my house and built my car. Somebody else said, hey, can you do mine? And moved up, right? So it was kind of profitable, but not really. It's just me doing stuff from the house. Down the street from my house, found a nice big 2,800 square foot shop, super, super cheap on a main road in Centralia, Washington. Jumped on it. It was $700 a month for just under 3,000 square feet. We opened up. It was great. There was no overhead. It was just me. I had one guy coming in working. We were profitable. The shop was cheap. It was just me doing all the work. I was new, so I didn't have a ton of work. I had enough work that I could do my job. We did start getting a little overloaded, and I had to bring in a couple of people, help me knock stuff out, and then we moved. Well, then we kind of took a break, and then we moved again and left Washington altogether in 2015 and went to Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I started getting much more recognition, honing my craft of the custom paint, honing our interior abilities. And again, we were profitable for almost 9 years in Phoenix because we had no overhead. We did it all from my home. There was no shop to pay for. There was nothing of that. My older son had moved out, so his bedroom became the upholstery room. I had a nice big garage. That's where I did all the paint. I had an RV gate, so we built a big awning. So all of the prep and body and all that stuff happened outside. It was in Phoenix, Arizona. It's always beautiful. So you just work outdoors anyways, right? And my garage became the paint booth and the inside working shop. And there was cars outside and it was great. It was easy to be profitable there because, again, it was just me. I had a couple of friends that came and helped here and there and would have fun and make a little bit of money and learn some stuff. Well, then it was, we were going to come here 2 years ago. And originally it was to kind of not combine two businesses, but have two businesses working together with one goal in one location. That didn't work out. Things just don't work out. One, the location, the shop that they have, it's not big enough for everything that they have to do. And everything I need, 3,000 square feet minimum by myself. That shop is 3,000 square feet. They need more than 3,000 square feet. They're out their shop already. They've outgrown it. So anyways, I started doing stuff from the driveway here when we first got here because that was my income. This wasn't a side gig for me. I didn't have another job. This is what I do. And so I immediately started doing stuff from the driveway, doing headliners, doing some interior repairs, doing stuff like that. And then a gentleman found me online who is now my landlord, one of my greatest landlords. And he said, hey, I got a building. You want to come see it? So I went and checked it out. It is 1,500 square feet. It's got a nice back lot with a gate that he built for me, a fenced-in back area. Price was right. Very affordable. Couldn't say no. Jumped on it. In that building, there's still, now there's a little bit of overhead again. And businesses take 3 to 5 years to become successful. We're at 2 years. So we're not profitable yet. And that's because we're still in that we're new. I'm busy all the time. We've got nonstop customers coming in. But here I have overhead. Here I have buildings to pay for. So we had the first building and we started going. Business started ramping up, started picking up because I do something that nobody else does around here. The way that I do it. And so I started getting business right away. Amazing. Wichita Falls in Texas has been absolutely amazing to us since coming here 2 years ago. But my business took off and we outgrew that building really, really fast. I had a customer that came in and needed some upholstery work done on a couple of his work vehicles. So we did that. When he came to pick up the second truck, he said, hey, you've outgrown this building. I said, yeah, 100% we have. He said, I have a building. It's about 2,000 square feet. Do you want to come check it out? So I went and checked it out. Nice big gated lot. Everything's great. We're not leaving the building we're in. We're expanding to a second building because that's what we need. Sure enough, I go check it out. The building really is only about 1,600 square feet with a paint booth. But has a nice big gated lot. Everything's great. Now we agreed upon a monthly price. So now all of a sudden my monthly bills is going to double, right? Because I'm going to have 2 buildings. We're doubling our building. Rent's doubling. The new building is going to be a fraction bit more than the first building, the PB Lane building, the building that we will never leave. And so the 31st building is a little bit bigger, but gives us that paint booth that we need so we can have a dirty shop is what we call it. That's where we do all the body work. That's where we do the actual painting. That's where we do that. PB Lane is where we take out the interiors, put back in the interiors, do our wraps, do our details, do a final assembly. That happens at PB Lane. 31st is where we make the messes, right? Here's the problem. 31st, the messy building has kind of been a nightmare, and it really has been the reasoning for us getting behind on the big jobs. How? Financially, it has been killing us. The rent was supposed to be one thing, and it was that for a couple months, and then every month it seems we're being told we need to pay more. Nope, it changed. Now going up again. Now we need more. Nope, now you got to pay this. Oh, we need more of this. The rent in that one building has doubled from the time that we moved into it. So now I'm paying triple. And the only way to afford that, because I also have some employees, so I've got overhead, and now I've got triple building pay when I was only supposed to have double. The only way to keep all of that going and keep any of this rolling is to bring in the small flip jobs. Well, you bring in small flip jobs, that pushes away bigger jobs, especially when we have employees and we lose employees. We have employees that don't show up. We have employees that are there and kind of work for 1 or 2 days and then disappear for 2 or 3 days and then come back and then disappear. That's part of business though, right? When you start growing, you get bigger, those things happen. I have some great employees. Unfortunately, Mel Wan got himself in a little bit of trouble, and so he's been gone, but we're hoping to have him back very soon. And that will be a great asset to have back because he's a great hard worker. And he's learned very fast. But we've got myself, we've got Justin. My wife is killing it with the upholstery. But the second building has become so ridiculously overpriced and expensive and changes from month to month. It keeps going up. And so I've only got 2 or 3 full-time workers, myself and one other full-time guy, and then my son who can kind of come in on the weekends and in the evenings to help. It makes the big long-term jobs get pushed back because we have to do the small jobs to keep bills paid. And it sucks and it drives me nuts. I got me pulling my hair out. And so it finally got to a breaking point and I had to start looking for another building. And so what I did was I actually contacted my landlord from the PB building and said, hey man, do you have another building that's about the same size? He said, I sure do. I said, let me go check it out. So we went and we checked it out. It is the building that you've now seen. It's great. The building itself is 1,500 square feet. It's the exact same size as the PB Lane building, but it has a back door that led to a big carport. And the landlord totally said, if you want to close that in and make a paint booth, go for it. So now we've expanded the building from 1,500 square feet to 2,000 square feet with a paint booth. So we're actually bigger than the 31st building. He's come in and he's fixed the lot. He put up a gate for us. He's still doing more stuff. And he gives us that freedom and he gives us legitimate rent. So now for the 2 buildings, I'll be paying less than I am paying or was supposed to be paying for PB and the 31st building originally. That original amount that I agreed to, that I knew we could afford to keep everything going, I'll be paying less than that original was. So we are not out of 31st yet. Unfortunately, that financial burden is still looming over the top of us, and that's because we have 3 major projects that are in 31st that I'm refusing to take to the new building. I want them done, finished, and out before we leave 31st. That means that we still do have to bring in smaller stuff to keep money going, because now I've got to pay for the 3 buildings and overhead, but I've got to get these jobs done at 31st and get them out so that customers can have their cars, but so that we can get into the new building on 10th without those things over our heads. But again, it still slows it down, because I can't just, do I want to say, stop the presses, we're not touching anything, get these 3 majors done, out of here? I would love to say that. The problem is there's no money in those. They've paid their monies. So I've got to be able to still pay bills every month, because when the first comes, trust me, all 3 buildings want their money. So we still have to bring those things in. I'm trying to balance that all out. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not, but I'm trying. I am trying. I don't want to keep any of these cars. I don't want these cars. They're not mine. I want to build them. I want to get them out. That's what I love about these. These cars aren't sitting in the shop because I'm trying to steal your car. I don't want your car. That's your car. If it was my car, I'd be building it way different than I'm building it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not in the business of storing vehicles. I'm not in the business of taking vehicles. I'm in the business of building vehicles and getting them out. So, for anybody who thinks, oh, well, you still got this in there, but I see you put all this little stuff out. Yep, because if I wasn't putting those little things out, there wouldn't be a shop for me to finish the big thing that I'm building for you. So you just have to bear with me. I didn't have control over what happened with the building. This wasn't what was supposed to happen. There was a set, and there was not a contract. It was a handshake, and I thought that was good enough. Unfortunately, it's not. And yeah, I kind of got screwed. So it is what it is. We're going to keep struggling for another month or so. I can't afford to stay in there any longer than another month, period. I can't. Financially, I just can't do it. So we are trying to bust our butts to get those major vehicles that are at PB or at 31st done and out. And at the same time, still trying to deal with the other little jobs that we have because we have to. We got to pay bills. Anyways, that's why we did what we did. That's why we're moving. We are leaving the 31st building. We have a new building on 10th Street. The people have already started seeing us and stopping in and saying hi. We won't be, the one thing that we won't be doing anymore is we will not be painting big, giant, large vehicles. And that's just because the new paint booth and new building doesn't allow for that, which is okay because that's not what I do. Wrapping big vehicles and big stuff, yeah, we do those all weekend long. PB Lane holds all those in there. Now, that's not to say that there won't be a big, giant thing painted in the future. There will be. We have space to do that and have access to big paint booths to do big, giant trucks if we really need to. We just won't be doing them on a regular basis. So wrapping them, yes. Painting them, not so much. That's not what I do. I do custom paint. Custom interiors. We are not an auto body shop. We are not Mako. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. I've got 2 people. Hopefully we'll be back to 3 full-time people, and a part-timer, and then Elizabeth in the upholstery building. But understand that we're struggling. We're not profitable yet. Like I said, it takes 3 to 5 years to become profitable in this business. If you make it that long, business is great. Business is booming. I'm not rich. I'm not making that kind of money yet. I'm not making profitable money. Everything that we make is keeping the doors open. And I love what I do. So I will continue to struggle and get those things done so that we can keep the doors open, so that I can keep building stuff, even if it takes me longer than you hoped or you expected. When I'm done building what I'm building for you, you're going to love it. It'll be worth it. You just got to hold on and let me struggle through. Okay? I'm struggling for you. I'm not struggling for me. I'm struggling for you. That's how it is. Again, I'm Josiah. That is the what, why, when, how of Vizion Customs. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. What we came here originally to do didn't happen, and that's okay. We are doing our thing, and we're going to continue to do our thing and do what we are good at and what we know how to do, and let the other people around town do the things that they do. There's more than enough for everybody in this town. And when you have a niche like we do, we'll keep doing what we do because nobody else does it. That's just how it is. Again, thank you. Come check us out. We're really going to be busy for another month or 2, so just leave us. Let us flow. Trust me. You're going to start seeing a lot of really cool stuff coming out of the shop real soon, like it used to be. All right? Thank you. Talk to you guys later.